has begun.
It has begun. And we're live at DollHouse, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us on another Mew Monday. Really appreciate you all coming out. And I'm already fumbling with my screen. What's going on here? I'm standing next to a very special community member. He is actually our host tonight, believe it or not. Can you believe it?
I
uh,
can believe it.
I mean, you could. I wonder. I wonder. I wonder if you foresee the future. If you can foresee things. Well, I
I
guess
do foresee interviewing you in one of these now.
in one of these, or are you
Yep,
just gonna flip it around, not even introduce yourself, just flip it around, give me an interview?
I could. I could.
I think we should. Nah. Welcome everyone. Joining us tonight is a fellow DGen, a good friend of mine, and production manager. You may see him running around as fuck, Gubble Bum. Everyone, please give it up for Specimen 13. Did I say that right?
Which part?
The the Gubble Bum.
Gubblebum. Yeah.
Oh, thank
It's
God.
actually, yeah. So a little bit of backstory behind that, real quick. So my my little girl, when she was first trying to say bubblegum, she called it Gubblebum. And at that point, being here, I knew I had to mint that name for at some point, when I got her into the metaverse.
Oh my God. Okay, that just puts like a whole new meaning even to like my perspective of the name. I always from looking at it, I thought it was fun. I was like I always like looked over and was like bubble gum, and I'm like, no, that's not what it says.
Yeah, it's just a little play on what she called it, and it was just the cutest thing, and I had to get it.
Absolutely. And thank you for being here, Specimen. I guess before we begin, could you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, man. First, thank you for having me. Thank you, Dollhouse. I appreciate the spotlight here. Thank you to all those that came before me doing this exact same thing. And yeah, so good evening. I'm 13. Specimen 13. You'll see me running around as Gubble Bum. Yes. For those that are, kind of confused, no, that is not NFT Bubblegum. It is I. Um, yeah, man. You know, uh, been around here for about my year mark was actually last month, or potentially in December of last year, because I think I actually started in December of 21. So yeah. Let's see here. Um, I have been a firm believer in this platform for some time now, and it's great to be here and talk a little bit about myself. But for those of you who don't know, I am a Marine Corps veteran, and I have been in Web3 for a little longer than I've been in Decentraland, but I found a home here, um, and it's been a fantastic one, to be honest.
Yeah, totally. I feel like when entering the space, it's always very important for you to find your home. And so, yeah, the Central End with this community, it's unbeatable. I'm just very excited for the world to find out, like, what we can do. Could you tell us a little of like maybe some NFT projects or like maybe some cryptos that you traded before coming into the Central Land earlier on?
Yeah, so when I first got into crypto, we were messing around with Bitcoin. Like there are a couple hard drives somewhere in probably a landfill in the area from some of me and my buddies that had some Bitcoin that we just, it was at the time, it was worthwhile to some degree, but we definitely never thought that it would blow up to this extent. I mean, there are literally like computers that were in school computer labs that were mining crypto for us at one point.
Oh
Um,
no, you were one of those.
I mean, allegedly.
Like the whole land filled with some hard drive that may have some of my assets in there.
I mean, legit. It's not a fabrication at this point.
Oh fuck me, dude. Sorry for your
It's
loss. It's
true.
like losing a
Uh,
puppy.
I I think losing a puppy is actually worse, but
Totally, totally. uh,
I got my doggo in the other room.
oh,
For
oh,
those for those of you that are Diablo 2 fans, her name is after an amulet called Mara's Kaleidoscope. Her name is Mara.
aw. Well, hello, Mora. I'm sorry for making that bad joke.
She's okay. She'll forgive you.
She's okay. Before we dig any deeper, how does one become production manager of Sinful Media? Could you walk me by
Uh,
that process?
um, yeah, man. It was, man, it was a hard fought battle, but I think I won it over with confidence.
well, I'm happy you did. You stepped
Really
up.
high charisma checks.
Definitely checks out. I'm trying to think back of like when we met. I do remember like you jumped into my stream once, and I was like trying to count the fucking Roman numerals. I was like, okay, an X is a 5. No,
Yeah,
no.
also known as XIII.
Yeah. And I'm like, no, no, X is a 10. And then
Yep.
like I'm like, okay, so like with the eyes, so you must be 8. And you're like, no.
Nope.
Yeah,
That
or I'm like,
that
you
would
must
be
be
a V followed by 3.
you must be 7. And then you're like, no, dude, 13. I
Yeah.
believe back in those days you used to like run with the Smush Friends boys.
Yeah, so when I first stepped into Decentraland, I had absolutely no fucking clue what I was doing. And I started running around to basically mostly the Wonder Mine is where I got started. That seemed to be the most hopping place other than the poker tables that I couldn't play on at the time. I I knew sorry I knew very little people whenever I first stepped in, just like many of you. We all found ourselves in that boat at one point. And yeah, so at the time, Coke Smush was running around doing things, and I had been in the Wonder Mine, I think, and I don't remember exactly who it was, right? But she was like, "Hey, my boyfriend has this NFT project that you should check out," and I was like, "Cool." Um, Brand new to NFTs at the time, never really traded or bought an NFT. And uh, to this day, I'm pretty sure it was the dev, his girlfriend, and I never saw that name in Decentraland again. I don't think. And if any of you are that person, please let me know. But they took me to Wilderness, actually first off, and I started having fun there. And then when I started running around a little bit more, figured out a little bit more of the functionality, I found my way to Board Vibes. Um, Started hanging out with Metacoast and NFT My Crypto.
Okay.
Um, Jack Straw was always there. Fucking Killian.
Killian, what? Oh,
Killian, sorry.
okay. I was
Killian,
getting.
not Killian, sorry. Killian. Yeah, oops. uh, Words mean things. Oh god, dude. There was some fucking there was a vibe there, man. It was so fucking cool. And they did movie nights, they did karaoke nights, and they did parkour. And after a few weeks of showing up and everything, and kind of legitimately crushing everything that Metacoast put out, he reached out and was like, "Hey, would you like to design next week's parkour?" I was like, "Fuck yeah, dude! Obviously, let's fucking run this shit." So I worked on a 2x1 and basically built it around their build. It was very basic. I basically used just the builder little voxel cubes and made little tiny platforms. I did some moving platforms that people fucking hated. And but the funny thing was they hated it so much. And shout out to my boy fucking Nader. Nader would just literally sit there for fucking hours just trying over and fucking over again, man.
Poor guy.
And yeah, it was interesting. Nader actually has a hidden utility of a hat put out by Smush Friends that I helped Smush kind of put out.
I see, I see. So you did quite a bit with Smush Friends. I even at one point I thought I even heard that you like were running their movie nights as well.
I was, but alas, I things happened in my life to where I didn't have as much free time as I did, and I kind of had to stop doing that. It was kind of sad, but you know,
Oh, it's all right. It's all right. I mean, the thing is that here in Web3, it's it just keeps going and it keeps going. So, sometimes life gets in the way, just like old guy over here, and you just have to step aside. But you'll be back. You'll come back to building and even stronger than
very
ever.
true.
Like as it seems for you, like you've been like on a tear since you got back. Let's pivot over to your newest wearable, which is your first wearable publication ever. What can you tell us about it?
Oh, so it's a first off, it's a collaboration with SRJH, as everybody knows him as. I call him JH. Um, but me and him actually we got into a Discord call, man, and we in CBD of just the I'm so fucking thankful for the CBD Discord. Um, just want to throw that out. But yeah, me and Jake jumped in there. He started sharing his screen. I started sharing mine. We jumped into Blender, and he had pretty much taught me how to make an outline through extruding against a 2D image. To create the outline, you put two different 2D images up, one on the y-axis, one on the x-axis, and you kind of just model it from there. Um, but he sat there with me through all my just, hey man, how do you do this? If I wanted to do this, what would be the best way? For hours and hours, we've sat, and it's blossomed further, honestly. But the beginning stages of it were just me and him sitting in a call, and then I had to go back to work, and he diligently worked on it in the background. So JH, I'm so fucking thankful, man. I'm so appreciative of your willingness to assist just anybody and everybody that comes in that Discord, man. We've done some stuff in there. And shout out to the FAFO crew. Scott, thank you. Because like you said, mentioning, come back stronger than ever, that's really kind of, it rings true. We have taken a large leap, or 13, really. 13 large leaps since that fateful Tuesday. honestly, man. It was incredible, and we just did not fucking stop.
Yeah, I mean, if I recall correctly, you got you and Jake, J- Josh sat in that call for about like 2 days, maybe 3 days straight, just straight productive, like productivity to the max. Just by the time I like came back, I like I came back like 2 days later. I'm like, you guys are still here? You're like, look what I've built. it's it's been
Yeah,
amazing. So kind of like I'm gonna just take a moment to even like give Josh his flowers like for a bit. Like I remember meeting Josh, and I remember like when he first started like getting curious about building in the space and learning Blender, and all the different things that can be done. And I had like the honor to sit through that like journey in multiple discords with him, like just servers,
yeah,
as he like learns and helps people, and learns with people. Like it's honestly like one of the more beautiful things about the space that keeps me motivated and keeps me like just trying to push you guys forward, and maybe one day I can bring some opportunities for my friends. um to back to the wearable, I wanted to actually ask you a couple questions about it. What inspired the design?
so the design kind of was all great artists take their um, inspirations from things, and you can see if you've ever been a fan of V for Vendetta, you can see that it's a derivative of such. Um, it's kind of it's meant to hold its mystery, as well as speak upon new beginnings.
Oh, that's deep. And kind of like the design on the mask, like it is inspired off of V for Vendetta, but like you do see the crap, I can't, the derivative part of it, like your design. What inspired it? Did you draw that?
Um, Actually, I gotta give this one to Jake. We were sitting in the Discord, and he just started playing around with some textures and such, and it kind of blossomed from there, and it holds its regality. Is that even a word? If it's not, I've created,
Let's just make it a word.
fucking honestly, Shakespeare created like, what was it, like 664 words or some shit like that,
Yeah.
just because there weren't things that fit what the fuck he was trying to say. So yeah, if
So what's
regality
adding
doesn't
one?
work, yeah, what's adding one,
And like I totally love it, and even like the tattoo. Like, did you play a part within with the design of the tattoo?
So we were discussing, and Jake has some phenomenal fucking pieces that I've seen. Just we if you sit in a Discord with people long enough, you see stuff. That's just kind of how it works.
Oh, you see stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And he had some ideas for it. And Jake, you'll have to forgive me because I don't even remember what kind of flower that is, man. Could you potentially enlighten me, my ignorant ass?
Yeah, yeah, our friend will be replying here shortly. Much love, CK, and just want to give a shout out to everyone here. Thank you so much. I see Gucci Toe, Goldilocks, Old Guy. Old Guy will actually be taking over the show one of these days for me while I, go get high. Um, on the rise, odd job. Mad Max is in the house. He hasn't been to a Beyond the NFT in a while. And our friend Josh has gotten back to us. It is a Lotus.
That's it. Fucking Lotus. But yeah, so we were just talking about oh, it's been weeks. We were talking about how um the Lotus reflects upon that idea of new beginnings in in its esoteric kind of forms.
Mm-hmm. I see. So then that's what inspired this design. I love it. I mean, Josh's work is amazing. If we go over here to Siren, I try not to stare too hard at her because of her tattoos, but she knows I like tattoos. Like this is the female representation of the mask of the what is it? 13 Riddick's mask? Is that the name of it?
Radix.
Radix. My bad.
Radix. So the idea of origination, beginning, uh, the birthplace, uh, the starting point, and there's like all these different. I'm a firm believer in using the thesaurus, but uh, I like to I like language. I've studied a little bit into uh, the beginnings of etymology. I did study a little bit of Latin back in high school, but I've always been fascinated with it, really. So I like to look up different words to say the same thing. But radix is used in a couple of different scenarios. So one, it refers to um, uh, mathematics kind of beginning, but also the source or like the origin of something. So yeah, radix mask is basically just that's what it is. It's the beginning of something that um, is going to be continually worked on until it's something great.
Ooh, I love it. I love it. It seems like a lot of aspects of this wearable were deep, and I mean, you can kind of tell because of the amount of time in between, like, kind of like the manifestation of the idea to like when the product actually release. Like
Oh yeah, it was months.
yeah, we're speaking months here. I gotta say I love that I can wear my Mew aura with it. The whiskers come out, and as well as like on the top, it comes out of my hoodie. I just love it. You know I'm all about no face, no case. Gotta hide my head too if I'm not wearing the dead mouse helmet. Makes me look kind of cool because I'm tatted up as well. So
Fuck yeah,
awesome,
man. More
awesome.
tattoos in Decentraland. Let's go.
More tattoos into Centraland. We definitely need more tatted up people in here.
Fuck yeah, we do.
So with when publishing or creating or thinking of the concept, were there any kind of like unforeseen issues that came about, like as a first time, as a person that's publishing a wearable for the first time?
So I will say, so this is my first actual publication. I did assist Smush back in the day with his Smush Friends hat because he was having issues with publishing. So I kind of took that upon myself to assist. So I'd already been through some of the process, but one great thing about being able to go into the CBD Discord is that there are a fuck ton of people that can answer your questions. So Brandon Manis was in there, Jake was in there, and I'm not sure if anybody else was in at the time, but I was like, yeah, so this, yeah, that, this, yeah, that. All right, what about this? Okay, we'll do that. So it's not an easy process necessarily, and I am thankful for the assistance that this wonderful fucking community provides, regardless of what it is. If you don't know how to do it, we'll call in an adult and we'll find out.
We fuck
Because
around
first we
and
fuck
find out.
around, and then we find out.
uh,
Uh,
that's definitely it. There's been a lot of fucking around, a lot of finding out in those channels. We keep it fun, and available for anyone to join. So I mean, I'm a huge fan of these FAFO events. So far we have been FAFOing for what about like we FAFO for about like twice a week in the CBD Discord. And
so it's been steadily Tuesdays and Fridays, and generally so far it's been like two different topics entirely. Tuesdays have been so far like messing around with Visual Studio Code, and then the Fridays have been messing around with Blender.
I see.
Fucking around, sorry.
Fucking around in Blender. Yes, we can't fuck up the term here.
Yeah,
Uh,
can't fuck that up.
yeah, it would be going off brand. So,
Exactly.
so far, which sessions could you say are the ones that kind of like are more beneficial to you? The Tuesday sessions for SDK, or the Friday sessions for wearable and Blender?
Can't say that either one is more valuable to me than the other, honestly. Because we, regardless, we fuck around and get into extra shit um, during whatever we break off into tangents. Sometimes, we go down rabbit holes and we fight to find our way back to where we were before. Sometimes, but it's been illuminating, um, the amount of information that gets disseminated there. Because generally, it's not just a couple people in there. We've had quite a few show up, and it's amazing because we're not all, you know there's uh, there's so much to learn that not just necessarily one person knows it all sometimes. So when there's a moment, somebody else will jump in, just so like Brandon will jump in, or Dr. Drip will jump in, or Greensifer will jump in. It's been absolutely incredible, just being able to share the same voice call with these people. I'm so thankful, again, for it, and Discord as a whole. It's an amazing tool. If y'all aren't in the CBD Discord yet, I highly suggest it.
And yeah, I will definitely drop a link in the Twitch chat for everyone. Anyone watching on Twitter or on YouTube, we are also live on Twitch. So if you're looking for a link to the CBD Discord, you can find it there. So
Oh,
13, would you like to maybe like bring up any projects that you've been working on through your fucking around and finding out sessions?
yeah, give me just a second, and I'll bring up a couple things.
Yeah, yeah, and while
Uh,
you do that, I'll just walk around and stare
let's
at
see
everyone's
here.
mews. I see a lot of mews at the dollhouse tonight, including that big mew over here. I love big mews.
Bring up that. Bring up that. Let me see. I'll share my screen with you.
Yep, and everyone, make sure to yeah, check out 13's wearable. It is in the marketplace among one of like the newer ones that just came out. at the low price of 13 mana. Wink, wink. I, I have to say, like the day that got published, like it was crazy how fast I dropped 13 mana. Like just disappeared.
It's fucking quick as shit. It really was.
It just disappeared without thinking.
I what was the message you sent me? I spent 13 mana without thinking, something to that effect. It's pretty good.
just
I got a huge chuckle out of it.
just I guess it's my version of fucking around and finding out with 13 mana. I'm gonna go sit next to Josh. He seems like he's very comfy up here. And I like the way Josh is thinking here. He's saying I can look down at people's heads and judge them. I agree.
Okay. Whew. I almost shit the bed.
Almost shit the bed.
Yep.
Okay. Let me
Terrible.
try. Terrible. I mean,
Terrible.
freaking lots of washing sheets and shit. Like you don't want none of that.
You don't want none of that for sure, yeah.
Okay. So I think this
Let's
is
see.
it. I go here. I click on this bullshit. No, I click on that bullshit.
There we go.
Hmm. 1 second. To do? Is it working yet? 13 Discord. Yes. Got that. Sorry, I don't like stream like every day or anything like that. Like
No.
just bear with me. And you are live.
I'm live. Oh
Yes.
shit. Okay. So, after FAFO, I think it was number two, maybe FAFO number two, if I'm not mistaken. We were sitting in there in Visual Studio Code, and Odd Job Scott is a wonderful teacher that will sit there and just literally fuck around with you until you find out. So much love. Thank you so much for doing them. But yeah, so we were sitting in Visual Studio Code, and we had learned how to bring in um, uh, load up a scene basically. So you go to Visual Studio Code. There's been some really good implements, but you can basically just download the essentials for Decentraland, pick, create a scene basically, and select what kind you want to do. We were starting with the cube spawner because it's just a very simple, easy to kind of just go over, the different calls that it makes to the information that's stored in the library. Um, so we were sitting in there. We learned how to bring in a GLB file, and pretty much center it in a 2x2. And I after that I started messing around, and I was able to bring in a couple different ones. I was able to bring in a third, but I did not understand how to bring in colliders yet. So we had been it took hours to figure out why the hell it wasn't working, honestly. And we after much metaphorical bashing of head against desk and keyboard, we were able to produce the effects. And it was a little bit of a walk around, but we finally figured it out. But then, feeling confident after, loading those, figuring that out, I was confident that I'd be able to recreate that if I just went ahead and moved further. So I originally started with the idea of Tower 13, a tower from the mind of a mad mage, which is still coming. It's just been postponed, and I've been working on what's known now as Club 13. Um, the everything here has basically been 3D modeled by me. It's not necessarily pristine. It's a work in progress, and I've done very little coding so far. Basically, I've just loaded it into VSC, but eventually, adding the auto dance floor feature, the wearable scanner and identifier, um, as well as coding in different NPCs and their functionality. Without further ado, let me change to viewport shading. And this is basically what you'll see whenever you get on Parcel. Imagine just running around and you are, you know, uh, faced with finding your way through this portal. Um, shouldn't be too difficult. I'm going to program it in. They've got some wonderful things in the repo that I intend to use. Basically, reverse engineer and throw that code in to where I need it. Shouldn't be too difficult, but you would get ported to another portal right here up on the first floor, which there are implementations across Decentraland where you can essentially hide all of this from plain view until you meet certain parameters. Basically, walk through here and get up here, and then this will appear. So that's essentially the idea. You won't be able to see this above you. You'll just get transported and be like, "What the fuck?" Um, so this is, like I said, kind of a work in progress. I've figured out a lot of shit. As far as I've, I swear, countless hours at this point have been put into even this amount of work. So whereas I am definitely not a guru at this point, I am proud of myself as to what I've been able to implement here. So I started with, what did I start? I started with the portal actually, because I had this down here. I had it was just two basic structures. The one lying on top wasn't even there. Those golden rings right here weren't there. So I just started with it, built this, and then I was like, well, the portal's got to fucking take you somewhere, right? So I then worked on a little like octagonal tower piece, learned how to texture those to make it, at least non-gray at this point, and then I worked on this little cauldron right over here. And then I got to the rest of the build, which I started with basically fixing the portal. And then I came up here and I started making a stage. Simple, got your raised platform, your little parkour blocks to get up there. And then I found in the repo the bare bones screen, threw it up there just kind of as a placeholder. But eventually I want basically like a plasma energy field being kind of just located between in the center of all this and projecting whatever stream is up, kind of thing. So that's a work in progress right now. um, but yeah,
When Mew
go ahead.
stream.
As soon as it goes live.
Yeah, let's go.
But then, I'm the reason why I got into the idea of Tower 13 being, the tower from the mind of a mad mage, because I'm a huge Dungeons and Dragons nerd. I have played Dungeons and Dragons and Pathfinder and Savage Worlds for uh, about a decade now, I guess. Um, so this whole build is an homage to tabletop role playing.
I see, I see. And so, you said that you had made like the transition from Tower 13 to Club 13. What will like in the future when Club 13 is perfected and at its full potential? What will Club 13 host?
So it's Club 13 to me is kind of a stepping stone to basically be able to produce a fully functioning build concept, um, all of its functionality, and is a learning process for me. But essentially be like an event space where you can have your nightclub. Like Club 13 is supposed to be multifaceted. Have your shows as far as your like nightclub feel, host D&D events. um it's it's still work in process or in progress as far as what all its capability will be, and as far as how many events. I don't know, man. This is early stages of it. In gaming, you've got your alpha build, you've got your alpha test, then you've got your beta. This is still an alpha, man. I don't even have the NPCs designed yet. But one thing that I've done, the only things that I've taken were images from stock websites, kind of thing, being able to bring in textures. I have not done any creating of textures yet for anything, because I don't have Procreate in an iPad that I really I'll eventually get, so I can start doing some of that stuff too. It'd be fantastic. But this is me learning Blender for the most part now. um, I've got lots of work ahead of me as soon as I get the build done 3D wise. Import that, and then there's a lot of coding that'll have to be done. So I've kind of thrown some of that eventual planning to the wayside while I just learn.
Totally, and I mean it's perfect because you already kind of have the vision in mind. So now you are just learning how to put your vision together. It's very important to, like, when getting into something creative, trying to learn, it's good to like kind of already have the vision of like what you would envision making your like for yourself, and then like as you learn, applying that knowledge to your build and everything you're doing. It's beautiful. It all comes together, and you learn, like, most of all, like,
We
that's your proof
fuck
of
around
concept.
and find out.
Yep, that's your proof of concept right there.
Yeah, man. It's been fun too. Sitting in the Discord with some really just bright-minded individuals when it comes to some of this shit, man. It's been incredible.
Yeah, it's a little different from the whole like, how do you make money?
Yeah, exactly. How do you make money? No, how do you build?
Yes, how do you bring value to this space? Like,
Exactly.
that's how you make money. That's the secret.
That's the secret. Exactly. Fuck the money, we building.
So, I do believe, like, kind of, we were messing around last FAFO session, and I started talking about pants and the
Yes,
lack of
pants.
donks that
Oh
these
my
pants
god.
have, like, for the male
Oh,
representation. What could
you're
you
gonna
tell
make
us?
me. You're gonna make me pull that one up too, aren't you?
just want to check it out.
All right. Let's see.
And once again, thank you everyone for being here. Anyone watching on Twitter or YouTube, we are. Most of the chat is lively on Twitch. If you want to join us and say hello, or even jump into Decentraland, we could drop you a link over here. To those of you watching, make sure to pick up Specimen 13's newest wearable,
There we
because
go. I found it. It's called Booty.
it's called Booty. I'm so proud of you.
And let's see there. Shit. Come on, Blender.
So what kind of donk pants are these gonna be? Like, are they gonna be like booty shorts for men? Are they gonna be?
I'm working on the ass for now,
Ah, I
honestly.
see. Just molding it, putting it together.
Yeah, so let's see here. We've got that one, so we're gonna click off there, hit A, hit G, hit X, slide it to the side. We're gonna import the
The ass
base
factor.
model.
We're gonna import the ass factor. That's what we were importing. Sorry,
So
getting excited
we'll
here.
get
Too much coffee.
rid of the feet, rid of that, rid of the eyes, mouth, upper body mesh, head. We don't need those. We don't need none of that.
No.
So I don't know if you can tell, and it's still a work in progress because I gotta get the ass a little bit lower because that's just kind of like a bulge, a reverse bulge right now. But I worked on just the vertices for a while, um, and oh, shit, hang on. Where are my? I'm so confused. Where'd they go?
Oh.
Where'd they go? They're supposed to be. Huh. Okay, never mind. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that little guy. So yeah, the normal ass of the male avatar is negative ass.
That's flat, bro. Like a
It's
brick.
negative ass. Okay, so obviously there needs to be some sort of a dunk on there.
Yes.
Um, and so I plan to bring it down just a little bit and kind of you can't really necessarily tell by this view, but the thighs are a little bit thicker. Um, the the overall like waist size is still the same, so it will butt up butt up against the upper body mesh quite well, actually. And let's so we can actually show that. Let me just go back a little bit, do some stuff. Then we're gonna import.
Rustan said that's a skateboarder booty.
Let's go. So we're gonna import the regular one and get rid of the lower body. And if you see, it actually lines up really fucking well with that top. May still have to. There's a little bit of overlap actually,
uh,
little bit.
oh, that's what you were talking about. Yeah. You're like,
Yeah.
I see.
So it
There's
should.
more than one bulge, and
There's meant to be.
there's meant to be
It's
different
it's
bulges.
it's there is. I've actually can't really see it that well in this wireframe, but I think I've added a little bit of, or a few vertices to make the extensions that are necessary.
Most definitely. I'm loving the progress. I'm loving the progress.
This was Sinful's request.
This was
Is that there needs to be more donk in Decentraland.
yes, more male dunk. I'm tired of seeing these flat butts for
These
male for
negative
male.
ass representations.
Yes,
What the hell?
exactly. So, as far as Blender goes, what has been the one tip or a couple tips, if you have them, that have really helped your progress in kind of learning and speeding up your like kind of your creation time?
Um, let's see. So for the building of like Club 13, the one of the biggest things that I was faced with was rotating things properly, and there's a functionality to where you can just sit here, hit A, hit rotate, and you want to rotate on the Z axis. Cool. Hit 90, and it'll literally rotate at 90 degrees for you. Like you want to, uh, uh, you want to make sure that the chair is flopped or flipped around the complete other side of the table. That's how I did it. I did do a little bit of manual editing in some cases, but whatever. Let's see, just for moving things out of your way, GZ up, GX over, and it's out of the way for now, kind of thing. You want to have a separate model to work with, Shift D G X, and then you've got it right there.
Holy shit.
You want two of them, hit A, Shift D G X, you've got four of them. Like shit like that. And then you can GZ them all, whatever. You want to rotate them 90 degrees so they're on a wall. You just hit whatever, because you can hit, you've got the x-axis, the y-axis, and the z-axis that you're working on. So as long as you understand you're working in a 3D space, you can be down here working on the feet from below, kind of thing. It's being able to pan around and just move the image. I use my center mouse button like you're supposed to, and you click that and hold that in, it moves you and pans you around. If you hold shift and do it, it pans you around on that axis.
Mm-hmm.
As far as like wearable modeling for the donk, one of the biggest tips that I got that day was from Dr. Drip. And there's a little fucking button up here in the middle called snap, and it's a little magnet, and if you set it to the vertex, I think it is, yep, should be, set it to the vertex and hit the little magnet here. If you're dragging a vertice, which a vertice, just let's go back to this guy, and we'll hide basically fucking everything except for the donk here.
More donk, please.
Okay, Blender is fucking up. Give me 1 second.
Yep.
That's Virtual Studio Code.
We're not in
But
Web 3
anyway.
without our hardware fucking up, or
Yeah,
our
exactly.
platform.
Yeah. Exactly. So if we load the booty, here we go. There's the stuff.
The good stuff.
We hide upper body base mesh, or not hide upper body base mesh, actually. Bring that back. So if we're in here, right, really up close, these two vertices are on top of each other, right? They're literally on top of each other because of, if I'm sitting, oh shit, that's not the right one. There we go. If I'm sitting here and I have this little tool on, I hit grab and I pull it away from here and just set it there, it's not moving, it's now been moved. But if I hit G to grab and I move it anywhere near that, oh shit, hang on. That's not right. Oh, hang on. This is supposed to work. I promise.
It's Dr. Drip certified. It's gonna work. Big shout out to Dr. Drip. If you look on the top left of our screen, Dr. Drip is one of our proud sponsors for Beyond the NFT and Mew.
Let's see here. Hang on. And it might be because I'm working in a different.
Might be a conspiracy against the Decentraland male donk.
It's supposed to. Wait, is that it? Did it snap that time? Oh shit. Hang on.
Oh my god. Oh, thank God you changed it back to wireframe.
There we go. Okay. So there's something I'm not doing right. What is it? Increment. Anyway, yep.
Up.
See, this is how good I am at this stuff. There it goes. Okay, so it's free floating until I get my cursor actually in proximity of it. That's what the problem was. My cursor was too far away with it or from it.
Uh,
That's what the problem was. See, I'm fucking around and finding out right here on Beyond the NFT.
Live. Where's Scott? We need him in here.
But yeah, so that tool right there, I had no idea, and I'd actually basically gotten done with what I was trying to do. And Drip was like, "Hey, by the way, I noticed you're trying to do this. Do you know about this tool?" And I'm like, no, but I'm about to be really sad and happy at the same time, I bet.
Well, for all your future wearable projects, now you know.
Now you know. But yeah.
Also sponsored by Dr. Drip.
Yeah, let's go. If you ain't dripping, you better be soon.
So that is really cool. So how about on the flip side? Those were some like very helpful tips that help you like learn and educate yourself with building a wearable and doing it faster. Now, what are some things that you are currently struggling with?
So I'm pretty much learning every time I jump in here, and I'm working on stuff. What am I struggling with right now?
It could even be like related to your build as well. Both let's do Blender and SDK
Blender and SDK.
or
Okay.
Visual Studios, whatever it is. Maybe I need
Yep,
a
that one
refresher.
too. So there is, yeah. So Visual Studio Code is basically a command line input program that allows you to utilize the SDK. You do have to download some essentials that certain things won't work until you do. So anybody that's struggling with that, maybe you just don't have the right utilities yet, and you might need to add those. So that's something that when I first started, I had no fucking clue about, and I've through the little bit that I've been working in there, I've started to recognize some of the calls, I guess. And don't get me wrong, I am beyond, I'm beyond thinking that I can just learn this stuff in a day. This stuff takes a while. Just learning how to call something into Visual Studio Code's little line parameters to jump that into Decentraland was that was huge. Being able to load in a GLB of my own design into a scene was fucking incredible. But there's you asked me what I'm currently struggling with. I'm not really currently struggling with much as far as the build goes, because I've been doing a lot from scratch. There was something that I fucking struggled for. It took me like the better part of a day and an afternoon of just scratching my head trying to figure out how to make a D4 and make it actually look good and work in Blender. because it is a four-sided pyramid. So every side just has three edges. So the bottom of my D4 at the beginning had four sides on the bottom, and every other side was three edged. So I was like, "Fuck, how do I do this?" And then through those rotation tools, I finally actually made a very nice looking D4, and I was extremely proud of myself. As far as what I'm struggling with as far as going and coding this shit, I haven't even got to most of that. But I am thankful that I've had a bit of an introduction, and I feel confident enough going into the repo and pretty much pulling code and setting up a scene using it. So,
That's
I'm
scary.
sure, yeah, it was terrifying the first time, man. Because I started this months ago, and I started with some of the physics engines, and I just could not get two different base folders to talk to each other, like two different pieces from the repo. But I'm starting now that I've kind of I'm kind of understanding some of the calls a little bit better. I feel confident enough to where I could make those work. But like I was saying before, I kind of want to get all the 3D modeling done before I just start coding. Just I want to get everything checked off before I go to that. And I've got a few more things that I need to design.
It's all a work in progress. Uh,
Yes, for sure.
there's no deadline on this one. That's the best part about it. You can just fuck around for as long as you want.
Oh, I'm fucking around all right. I've found out a lot, really. Um,
More than you
I've
fucked around?
That's a hard decision to make whether or not I've fucked around more than I've found out. I like to think that I've fucked around quite a bit.
Now, let's see. Now that kind of we have explored your project, make sure to close down Visual Studios before you start lagging. It's really bad.
Oh, I'll be all right.
I'll be alright. You say that until you see like fucking 40413 running across the street. Or the
I'll be all
screen,
right.
yeah. um, so I have a couple like final questions for you today. Like through all the ups and the downs, and our markets here in crypto, seeing mana go from like all-time highs to like basically like 30 cents, and you've been here for the ride down. What made you stick around?
Um, Sorry, partaking in a little bit of meow mix or mew mix.
Yeah. Oh man, probably should. It's only right.
Uh, what made me stick around, man? Fucking friendships that I made, dude. Honestly, they've the connections that I've made here mean the world to me. Um, we've, like you said, we've been through that this whole time, and we're still here. That speaks volumes to me. Um, there's so many bright minds building in this space, regardless of what the market does. Fuck the market, really. We're building to take this to a whole new level. Um, and I don't really think that a whole lot of people, at least not, I can really only speak for myself. But you know, we're building shit that's really on the forefront of what we want the metaverse to look like.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and whether or not we get there depends on those that are showing up every day and putting in more effort than any other platform is really trying to do necessarily. The functionality that some of these builds have is fucking phenomenal, man. Um, Programming a HUD that has multiple calls to multiple different directories is something that, to me, at this point in time, could be a headache that lasts a couple of days, or, maybe I'll be in the Discord and productivity and somebody will swing through while I'm working on it and connects me with somebody else. And that's just fucking beautiful, dude. Um, the willingness to assist and teach is one of the most amazing things that I've found in this space. Uh, it's it's inspiring. It's fucking motivating, and that's part of it. That's the reason why I've stuck around too. Is just the willingness to just relentlessly build in a space that a lot of people don't fucking believe in, but what they don't know is we fucking believe in it. And it's it's only a fucking matter of time before they do too, and they may not see it, but I like to think we do.
That was beautifully said, very beautifully said. The connections you've made, the friendships, definitely in this space are very strong. And I always say that I'm very proud of the community that we have here on Decentraland, because when it comes down to it, it's not about the platform that we're on. Like, it's about the people that we are around, and we have a beautiful bunch of 38 users. Wink, wink. uh,
Shout
eh,
out to all 38 of you.
yes, I look down at the top of their heads and just judge. Anyway. And yeah, just like the willingness to share information. Like the markets were going down, there was a lot of chaos, lots of fires. We got our 38 article published. We had our other articles published that were that were just bogus, and we're still here. Like it almost feels like markets just weeded out the bad eggs, the bad actors, and kept the individuals that were in here to create and to make something for themselves. You were totally right about the part, like you said, we're operating in a market that is that and before us there is nothing. We're the ones paving the road, but the ones that are behind us are the ones that see our road. um we don't always know what the right things are, but of course, as individuals, as people, a community, we push
We're
forward.
we're all making mistakes together, man.
Yeah, exactly. We're all making mistakes together. We're pushing forward and we learn. And yeah.
Pretty much, we control Z a lot sometimes.
Not Alt F4.
That's the secret code, man. Do you really want to be? Do you really want to be giving that out?
Do I really want to be exposing nuclear codes here? So my final question for you tonight: um, where do you see Decentraland in 5 years?
I see Decentraland being something that honestly I see more VR capability coming to Decentraland, and uh, one thing that things often like games often miss out on is immersion, and that's what I love about Dungeons and Dragons, man. A good DM will fucking immerse you in the story.
Hmm.
You show up to the mouth of the cave. There's a little bit of water trickling from within, kind of thing. You know that the river is dammed up ahead, and because it is, you can see the mouth of the entrance to this cave. You walk within and you hear uh, a little bit of wind rustling through some rocks, just kind of just falling in the distance, going. And as you step inside, there's a low level lying or a low mist lying along the floor. And the air itself is a little acrid and pungent. You feel like you're in that fucking cave. If a DM can fucking bring you there, just by some fucking words, imagine what happens when you can't see outside your periphery and you hear these sounds echoing around you, and you have the smell of mahogany coated in.
Oh God! Oh, for those of you that don't know, that's a inside joke between 13 and I. I think a few weeks back, I asked him to code the smell of mahogany for me.
But yeah, man, if this platform doesn't uh, kind of pivot to support more of a VR immersive aspect, I'd be kind of surprised. It's coming to a point to where I feel like, if you're fighting in Dungeon 13, then if you've got your VR headset on and you're swinging your +1 magical short sword, um, then you need to be doing that. You need to be making these motions. Like I don't know. I just that's where I see this going
Mm-hmm.
in some time.
Yeah, totally have a point. And by the way, I have to say, you had me immersed there when you were telling us your cave description. Like, holy shit! Like, how do we hire you as a game master?
Um, well, that can be done at some point. I've actually thought about through some of the wearables, added utility being something along the lines of you, if you want to, you have access to coming and playing within my world, which is mostly homebrew, which is, for those of you who don't know, homebrew is pretty much from the mind of the DM creating it, unless they take homebrew from other DMs, which Dungeons and Dragons and tabletop gaming as a whole has heavy influence on so many different things. So you can pretty much get inspiration from anything as far as throwing it into a campaign.
Okay, that could be some awesome future utility. Maybe something for like your 1 of 10 holders or something like
Yeah,
that
yeah,
in the
yeah.
future.
So this wearable will house VIP rights, as long as some as well as some hidden utility to drop before too long.
That's awesome. So you do have it all like kind of planned out. Good,
I've
good.
got
The vision
I've
is
got
there.
scrawlings for days, man.
um, so
So many pages, more than 13.
more than 13. That's forbidden. That's a sin right there.
I keep those locked away.
Good. So like back to kind of like your answer on like how you feel that the Central Land needs to pivot more towards the VR side of things and kind of capture that crowd. Totally. I mean, that you said it right there. Totally agree. And to tell you the truth, the more I kind of like jump in like through different discords, whether it's the DAO Discord or the Central Land official Discord, I'm starting to see more and more questions of like when VR, how can I use VR, what is VR, how VR.
It's money gated right now for the most part.
Hmm.
There's not enough. Honestly, so here's the thing. Um, Developers need testers to find bugs. The less testers, the less bugs you find, the longer it takes to discover these things. Because as soon as you fix one thing, another thing breaks. We all know this. Um, it's hard sometimes um, to develop when you don't have enough assistance when it comes to bug finding and bug fixing. So there's that, and I feel like not enough people believe in mass adoption yet. One, because they don't see it, which is not their fault. It's up to us to spread as much information as we can. But that they're kind of expensive to even get into VR gaming. Plus, if you don't have a, a decent enough setup, a decent enough rig to even run it, what's the point? So I feel like some things as far as hardware need to be more readily available before that. But I feel like within the next 5 years, that could actually be a real possibility.
Yep, yep. And for those of you that don't know, the DCL Film Festival is going on. I believe like the first through 10th place winners win a VR headset. So man,
Let's fucking
that's
go.
like a third of our users like getting a VR headset. If that's the case, I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry, everyone. That will be the last 38 joke from me for the night. I will start back up tomorrow.
Hit your quota for the day.
Yeah, I've hit my quota. I know that last one was a little forced, but that's usually how I roll. So, 38, do you think this might be a 30? Oh my god.
Wow.
Thinking about numbers over here. 13.
I'll mint that next.
Please do. Uh, do you feel like this could be a good time to kind of start to wind down?
Yeah, sure. Shit.
Final thoughts?
How long have we even been here?
Perhaps maybe like hour and a half.
Oh
Almost.
shit.
Yeah, yeah.
It's been fun.
Almost hour and a half. Yeah, it's been a very very good Beyond the NFT episode. I think among one of my favorites so far.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah. Final thoughts before we close out?
Um, I don't say it enough, but I love you all. You're fucking amazing. Keep doing what you do. Even if you're just fucking getting into things, uh, and you're confused, don't worry about it. I was confused as fuck when I first got here. I'm still confused. I still am constantly learning things. I'm trying as best I can here. And if you have anything that you want to learn, we teach daily. We teach each other, and that's important to me. Don't stop. Never stop stopping, or something.
Goes something like that.
No, seriously though. Much love to you all. Thank you, Sinful, for having me on Beyond the NFT. Thank you, DollHouse, for the space to do it in. Thank you for everybody that's listened to me ramble. Uh, it's been an amazing experience. I, I, I don't want to. I've walked myself into a corner. I didn't mean that. I want to see what we are building 3, 6, 8, 10, 13 months from now. We're going places, and I love fucking seeing it. But yeah, thanks man for having me. I appreciate it. If anybody has any questions, I'll be in the CBD Discord right after this. So, come talk, come say hi, come ask questions.
Shit,
If I
yeah.
don't know, if I don't know the answer, I'll call an adult.
Hopefully adults are awake at this time. This is usually like the beginning of prime degen hour.
Yeah.
And so yeah, thank you 13 for coming on the show. It's been a very special show, and I'm happy we did it. Definitely, definitely, like, we'll have you back one day. I'm over here like even thinking, like, since we had like a whole we spoke about Josh a little bit. It even got me thinking, I gotta bring Josh back on, see what the man himself has been up to, and kind of like how his journey has been since his last episode on Beyond the NFT. Believe it or not, I'll give you a little history, 13. Back when I believe Josh was on the third Beyond the NFT episode, and on that episode, he had published his very first wearable on the shoe.
That's what's up.
Yeah, it was a pair of like black and white, like Converse looking shoe with like his rose designs on the sides.
You mean, where are they?
You're like, where? Oh, right there.
You mean these?
Yeah, those.
Wait, shit, what happened?
I know, right? It was on the first
fucking
page.
inventory.
Go to yeah, that was weird. Oh, that reminds me, dude. I think this could be something fun to finish off the stream with. I heard word back from the gambling hall.
Oh. Somebody cashing in the Morgan Freemans.
All right, so if you're watching screen, let's get to it. Fuck it. I know I owe you a few upgrades.
Oh shit.
Yeah, man.
LFG.
Okay, everyone. So wish our friend 13 luck. We are upgrading his wearables, and actually wish him luck that it actually works, because I mean, there's been some sus shit going on, and I don't want to say too much, but
Let's go, DG.
Oh, it's working! It's fucking working! It just asked me to sign something twice. Sorry, the excitement. So much excitement. Alright, we're to the upgrade wearable section.
Fucking went through!
I know, right? We sat here for like fucking 2
so
hours
impressed.
like trying to do this. Murph is probably like talking over to the teams like, good job, boys.
Good job, everybody.
Alright, so your level 3 is 22%. Rank 3, Shoesy Shoes. Nah, I think I'm gonna go play him now.
Okay.
No. Fuck it. Let's go over to the level 4 update. Oh no, are we gonna run out of ice before level 5?
I think I worked it out.
Because I remember you sent me like 24.
I know 25,000 ice, I think.
Okay, you sent me 25 around there. Upgrades were 10,000, then another 12, which make it 22. 22.5 plus, I think there was a 750. Was it 750? Oh well, we'll figure it out now.
I'm pretty sure it was. I think it was going to cost 22.5 total. I think.
Oh boy, here comes the degen calculator. Handy dandy calculator. Okay. From level 2 to level 3, I believe it was 7.5 plus 10 plus another 12.5, 30. Oh well, we'll
really? Did I not work it out?
Okay, so far we're at level 4. 29% let me get you some ice. You can get me back later. No worries,
Yeah, I
dude.
got you. I think I have some still.
Nice, nice. Okay. So you sent me 25. Yeah, I'll work that out later. Sorry, guys. All right, so everyone, on Beyond the NFT, I am now teaching you how to convert your ice or whatever other attendees you may have in your account into ice. I have some mana. Here, now give me a quick second.
Oh man, it didn't. The infographic didn't change for a second there, and I was like, "Holy shit, man, a moon!"
Mana Moon, please.
Honestly, I don't think that I don't think people realize some of the fucking magnanimous feats that some of these developers in Decentraland have fucking like it's crazy, dude. Just it's so it's already, hard to kind of entry level get in, and to discover some of the stuff that they've been able to do is fucking mind blowing. Like, I don't know.
Thank you.
There's a few cases that I still need to do some research and figure out how the fuck they do some things. Yeah, Billy, go ahead and buy your mana first for sure.
Don't moon. Let me buy.
Don't moon just yet.
Just crash to 30 like one more time for me, please.
Shit. Honestly, like I wouldn't even be upset.
I was never upset to begin with. It
Yeah,
was great.
yeah.
I was buying wearables for cheap, fucking cheap names,
Fucking
fucking
cheap ass names, dude.
felt felt like big
Oh
dog on the block, and then
yeah. Fuck yeah.
all right. Let's get our level 5 upgrade here. What the fuck? How do I? Oh, I have banked ice. Where the fuck? Oh, I can. How do I use my banked ice? What is banked ice?
Banked ice.
Yeah, how disrespectful. How dare
It's
they
supposed
bank my ice?
it's the tournament wearables, I think, right?
No.
Is it something different?
As owner, I should not have banked ice. This is. I don't know. They probably changed it recently. Just DG being like, "Fuck
Oh,
you."
oh yeah, those changes.
Yes.
Did those get put through?
Are we talking about the Gabe changes? I think they.
Yeah.
I think they got altered.
Owners have 20% banked ice now, starting today, Rustan says.
Well, that's disrespectful. I'm gonna floor all my wearables now. All right. Let's see. You ready to go?
Let's fucking do this. Roll a d20, see what we get. 14.
All right. You are level 5 plus 39%.
Hey, let's fucking go.
LFG.
LFG, boys.
Well, congratulations, 13, on obtaining your very first level 5 wearable.
Oh my, does this mean I can join y'all at DHC?
Oh my god, you can join us like every day at DHC. You're part
My
of the club.
fucking goodness. Fucking part of the club.
Part of the club. The Poker Bros Club. But there are girls too.
We ain't the He-Man Woman Haters Club around here.
No.
No. I still remember the password to get in.
Alrighty. Well, yeah, good time to close it down. Thank you, 13. Really appreciate your time tonight.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me, man.
And here, time for me to do a couple final shout outs for,
Before you close it out.
what's that?
Brandon 10, Wisher Vodka.
Brandon 10 Wisher Vodka for all your Wisher Vodka needs. Go to Brandon 10. He's got an awesome voice, and He might even sing you a jingle if you use his code. I don't know. Dude hustles. Thank you everyone for joining us tonight. We've had like a solid like 20 to 25 viewers all night. I really appreciate your time, all the love, all the support, all the mews that I like see around. Like, wow, thank you for every one of you, diamond handing those mews. Shout outs to our sponsors up at the top. Much love, Songbird Collectives, Metal One Designs, Fox Boards, of course, Dr. Drip, the legendary Dr. Drip. Go check out his wearables. And then we have the lovely Baby Dolls, always being awesome hosts here at the DollHouse. We love you. Decentraland loves you. And thank you. Thank you, everyone. And yeah, just stand by and I'll get some music situated for us. Bye.